Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. It's not Euro Talk. It's not La Copa Loca with my boy Christian Rivas. And there's 4 people here already, so it's already looking a lot better. And you know who's always looking good no matter what? My brother from another mother all the way in Los Angeles, Akil. I know for a fact it's Father's Day over in America like a day or two ago. So happy Father's Day to you, my bro. Welcome back on Inter Worldwide, fam.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's Father's Day today. We celebrated. This is my second Father's Day, so it was really special. But yeah, man, good to be back. Good to be coming back and doing Inter content. Definitely, we missed. I missed being here. I miss covering the news and stuff. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it, man. A lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in here. There's 12 people watching this video, which I think is more than all 4 of my live Euro streams combined, which is absolutely amazing to all our Interesti brothers out there. Don't fucking forget it. Campione d'Italia. It continues, man. And if you're not G, get G, because there is big reason to be excited. And I'm going to use my big boy voice. Big Don Beppe Marotta. The best thing to happen to this club since sliced bread, since Ronaldo, since the treble. Don Beppe is staying, and it's not for a 1-year extension like the original reports were a month ago. The dude is here till 2024. Before I go over to Akil, there's a couple of things that make this even sweeter, brother. First of all, one of the many very reliable Gobby journalists, I don't know his name, but I saw it yesterday. They're all so reliable with their 99.97% sure that Ruma's going to sign Montblanc, all sort of talk. You know what I'm talking about. But the audacity to come out 12 hours before we did and say Marotta's leaving. His tweets and his article were literally, he's left, he's gone. That sort of arrogance just made me laugh. There are 15 people in this video. Like the video, let me know who is here. Please let me know who is here. I'm sure there's some people here we haven't seen in a while. Akil, over to you, my bro. Your initial reaction and your thoughts of Beppe Marotta sticking around as our basic CEO, Director of Operations and Technical Operations behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely. Beppe Marotta is the backbone of this Inter. He's the next best thing that has happened to us since winning the title, or ever, like winning the title in the last 10 years. We don't realize how important this guy is, how he is using his magic, using his tricks, all what he's got. He's using that to run this club successfully, and he's delivering it, man. Season after season. I mean, you look at any move that he's made. He hasn't played a bad move in so long, in so many seasons. And he is on track. He's here for us, and he's signing, making another contract, and this is a great news in somewhat about what happened with Christian Eriksen and everything. We just kind of felt a little sad, and obviously heart goes out to him. But getting this news, a week after, it's such an uplifting news, and I was so excited for it. My initial reaction was, the core of this team includes Beppe Marotta, and he is here to stay. So I was really excited, man. And I'm really looking forward.
100%, bro. Well said. Shout out to our brother Gus from Honduras. Jake Calea, always here. It's good to see you again. Actually, that Calea name doesn't sound Italian. That's probably the reason why heaps of people haven't been tuning into these Euro streams as well, man. But I'm just so happy to have the Interesti brothers back. And this is just such good news. And I said it today, bro. This is the best news since the scudetto. It's about time we got to smile, bro. It really is about time we got to smile. And this is a huge reason to smile, because not only does it mean that we're sticking with him, it means that this very smart guy who plans for his future before anything else. Let's not forget, this guy jumped ship from Juventus, not straight to Inter. He left. He left because of the Ronaldo deal. We saw that he was free and we picked him up. It's not like we taped him up or anything. I mean, if I can take off my Inter hat, shirt, balls, everything that is Inter, Juventus, the way they were running their club with Marotta there and Conte at the helm, it was ridiculously hard to compete with. It was impossible to compete with. He was never going to leave that winning project unless he really could smell the shit, and he could. And I'm just really happy because it means that he's convinced that this is a competitive project for next season, the season after, and the season after that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good with that, Akil, bro. If you're one of the 12 people here, like the video, let us know who you are and where you're from. Kindarian and Benjamin, good to hear from you. Indrohari, good to hear from you as well. Akil, like, he's sticking around. Do you really believe that this is because he sees the strength in the project still, minus Antonio Conte and maybe minus one big player?
No, definitely. I think he sees a bigger picture. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, right? He's been inducted as well. So his pass is that he likes to see the stability. He likes to see things run in a certain way, and I'm sure he spoke to Zhang and all the upper management, including himself, and he's totally convinced with the project. And Conte leaving the project somewhat in between, I would say, but Marotta was never really in question to leave. I think the media just kind of hyped up that news, gave that little scare, but I doubt that he was ever going to leave the club. I think he was convinced from day one. He knows this team. He's really running the show from the back, and he's an absolute pillar of this Inter team. And this is, like you said, best news since the scudetto. And despite Conte leaving and whatever happened in between, I think this is a great sign. I think it also shows our strength economically and the club wise, showing the strength that we're able to keep our CEO in place, not just for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now. And then it just shows that we have a project that we all still believe in, and we're going to go forward with this.
100%, man. Well said. So Beppe stays. It means that, and you got to remember, this guy is a Mercato genius as well. He really knows what he's doing. So that shows me that there's almost a strategic plan in place to keep this team competing. And I don't want to say it too soon, and I could be wrong as early as tomorrow. Something could come up and agreed, but I'm getting pretty sick. Well, not pretty sick. Actually, it's starting to get pretty entertaining, this little tennis match between Chelsea and PSG for Hakimi. I can guarantee you about 5% of those articles are true. Yeah. If they were really both that genuine, this wouldn't be playing back and forth like it is. So in my personal opinion, and this is a little off topic from the video, but we might as well discuss it, I actually think that there's just as much of a chance of Lautaro leaving as Hakimi. And as soon as the Euros and Copa America finishes, one of those deals is going to accelerate like that and will get done over the spot. Would you agree, man?
Yeah, definitely. Hakimi's deal is obviously the tennis match between PSG and Chelsea. Because he's such a high-profile player and he's had a great season, and both team. I mean, any team in the world would want a great right back. He's great for us. But I wouldn't be surprised, that Lautaro, that deal could happen in a blink of an eye. We know he's got, teams that are looking for him. And again, after the Euros, I think it's just the Mercato is just going to get into a different gear. We're going to see some quick news. And, at the end of it, Marotta also has things in mind. He understands. You remember the Hakimi deal when he came, it just happened so fast. Nobody saw it.
I missed the whole thing. I missed the whole thing in one day. I'm like, what the hell? That hasn't happened in 10 years.
Exactly. It just flew right in. No idea what happened. And we just all went, what just happened? And I think that's what's going to happen this time around too. It could have happened with Lautaro deal. It could have happened with Hakimi. I mean, obviously, they're going back and forth, but after the Euros, after, he's also playing for Morocco, anything can happen. But at the end of the day, I think whoever goes, whether it's Hakimi, whether it's Lautaro, it's going to be a strategic move. It's going to be a very calculated move, and they already have a project in mind. They already have players in mind that they can bring in, and that is the whole reason why they're able to work on these deals or negotiate these deals, because they already have a game plan in mind. It's already laid out, and whatever happens, we're going to have a contingency plan. We're going to have a backup plan. So Inter fans, don't panic. If Hakimi leaves, yes, it's a loss. But trust in Marotta. That's all I can say.
That's it. And that's why I've hung his picture above this thing now. It's like he's watching over us, bro. There's a few religious metaphors I could make here, but I won't for respectful reasons. But straight up, like, it's fantastic news. And it made me breathe. And I said it to someone over the phone today, and he laughed because it was true. I'm like, I think I feel better today than the moment we clinched the scudetto, because I swear to God, for the first time in a few months, at least there is something I know for sure, what direction the technical part of the club is going to go in terms of personnel and how our transfers are going to be governed. This guy is not going to let us give our scudetto team away. If it's one player and a few deadwood players and a couple of small players, so be it. We have built a massively competitive, in-depth squad, thanks to you. I mean, you this way, thanks to him. So he deserves it, man. It's like he's like, I started this gangster shit, so I'm not ready to stop it just yet. There's 18 people here right now, which makes me really, really happy. Let's go over to a few comments before we move on to the next topic. Anything else to add for the Beppe Marotta, Akil, or have we pretty much covered it all?
No, I think we've covered it all. Just gonna say that he's such a well-respected man in the world of football, and it's a blessing to have him with Inter, with us, and just to secure him for next few years. I would say it's a huge signing. It's one of those signings that when we get it, we just jump off our seat and be like, yo, this is a guy that's going to take us forward. This is a guy that's going to run the show, and we believe him. And he hasn't put a wrong foot at all in his last few years, and I don't see him slowing down. So yeah, super signing, I think.
Yeah, I think most people will argue the only thing he did wrong was Dalbert. Dalbert is the biggest miss of Marotta's campaign. So I really want to wonder how much leverage he actually had in that deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Rather get money only from PSG than Emerson included for Hakimi. Emerson looks average. Man, I'll agree. I'm not a fan of the Chelsea offers with the players. Cash is going to be better for us, because at the end of the day, and this is another reason why I don't think the Chelsea rumors are true. I reckon it's Paris or bust, because if we swap him with players, doesn't that nullify the whole point of us making certain X dollar value for our books? I'm pretty sure that the Mercato works in a sense that, our restrictions and everything work in a sense that we can still spend money. There's a certain part of our finances and the boxes that need to be ticked. We now need to bring in money and plus Valenza to tick those boxes. I don't think you can do that by bringing in players, because valuing them is a little subjective. It can get a little subjective then in those sort of deals. Unless I'm wrong, Akil, it has to be an overall flat fee. I don't think players come into the equation, and I don't think Chelsea can meet us to the full valuation then.
No, that they won't. I think it's just PSG, to be really honest. Chelsea, they're just type of team that gets included in the negotiations anytime there's a big player involved. So I think those are just pretty much rumors. Somewhat true, maybe, but never know. But PSG seems like a team that we should work with, because they will offer the most amount of cash, and that is what we need right now. This whole fiasco is about cash. The whole situation is about cash. We need to sell a player to raise cash, not get a player and get a little bit of cash, and then we may have to send out another player maybe to balance the books, and that won't be a great deal. And I don't see Marotta making that mistake. So yeah, I think PSG is going to be the team that we mainly will work with. 70, 80 million, whatever our asking price is. I think it remains to be seen whether they match it or not. They surely can. They have the cash, and I think one of the videos you did earlier, and the guy was telling us, these big clubs, they can pump in the money from various sources, man. They can come up with additional 10 million. If they really want that player, they'll just pump it in and get the player. So I think they're just trying to play hardball. They know that our situation is also that we need to raise cash, and we're in a little cash strap right now. But I think whatever the deal will be, I think it'll be beneficial for us in long term. I mean, we have to balance our book, and that is the ground reality. There's no other way around it. So let's see, man. I'm just hoping for the best.
I am still hoping that one of the three Spanish teams, because I really don't think El Toro gives a shit which one it is, whether it's I'm sure he would prefer Real Madrid and Barcelona a little bit, because that's the boyhood dream. But I don't think you knock back your Argentine counterpart, Simeone, who just won a title. It's not going to take much convincing at all. So if one of those Spanish teams are willing to splash, that's even if it's 60, I would rather sell Lauti for 60 than Hakimi for 80. If that sounds shit to anybody, disagree with me. That's fine. We love it. We love disagreement. What about you, Akil? Like, well, say that's a hypothetical right there. 60 to 65 for Lautaro, or PSG put 80 on the table for Hakimi.
I am personally going and packing Lautaro's bags and sending him away for that, for whatever that money is, 60, 70, 80, 50, I don't care. Yeah, look, I mean, Atletico, they need a striker. There's no question. They've made they initially, again, these are reports, so they made that inquiry about Lautaro, and that could happen. You know, and I take that money, 60 million for Lautaro, balance the book, and look for a secondary striker.
Yeah.
That is not getting a right wing back is a much harder task given today's market, given today's situation. There aren't too many right wing backs that we can actually bring in and that could deliver what Hakimi did last year, or even half of it. I mean, I am being totally blunt. There aren't too many players, or even if there are, they're not going to be available for cheap. So yeah, if we have to sacrifice a player, it has to be Lautaro.
Fair enough. It's hit 20 in this chat, which is awesome. Please make sure you like the video. Let us know where you are, who is here tonight. I'll just run through a couple of fresh newcomers. It is Kiwi Kicker. What's going on, my brother? Hope NZ is treating you very, very well. Indrohari says, Sol Lautaro all days and go for Belotti or Raspadori. Go for Raspadori. There's no need to put a big hunchback-looking dude like Belotti against pair with Lukaku. Well, I'd say Belotti's a great vice Lukaku to come off the bench, but I don't know if pairing them two in the 3-5-2 is as efficient as putting someone as more agile as Raspadori. However, Belotti's got the experience. Akil, your thoughts on that?
Raspadori, man, any day. Yeah, Belotti can be, vice Lukaku. He can play that similar style. But yeah, I think if we are looking to replace Lautaro, it has to be a player that is, a little more agile, a little more good with his feet, because, and Inzaghi's style of play is going to be similar to Conte's. The second striker will be more similar to Juan Correa. He's a little more agile, he's a little more flexible, goes out wide a lot. So yeah, it's going to be a player with a little more skill at his feet.
Yeah, 100%. King Darian says we need 110 mil Lautaro, still need to buy Raspadori. The only club that was ever going to drop that money on him was Barcelona, and their flex is fake. We've seen that. However, they get away with everything.
Yeah.
Their president or their chief came out and said something yesterday about the Super League. I can't even remember what it was, but I just remember thinking they're saying, this would sound a lot more authentic and integral if you didn't just splash another 12 million on wages in Aguero and Depay. So you get 50 years all hell. I don't care what you say. Kiwi Kicker, his speed of production are made for the UCL. That's Hakimi. That is, my boy Kiwi Kicker is on the hype train in terms of, kicking on. That's what he is. He's the Kiwi Kicker on. We've got to kick on and do well in the Champions League. We're not about regressing. And I think he's the type of fan that would consider us competing for the scudetto, but not doing well in the Champions League next season, regressing. And he might be right. There's an old saying in Italy, you just don't dismantle the winning team, ever. Our hands are tied, bro, and unfortunately it's his favorite player. It's almost my favorite player. It's a tough one. But who's going to bring in that money? It's only him, Lukaku, Lautaro, Barella, Bastoni. And we can't let the Italian boys go, man. We can't. They are the future of the club and country. Bastoni and Barella, in my opinion, are the two most important players on this side.
Yeah.
If we go through our 11, I would say Barella and Bastoni stay for all money, even sell Lukaku before them. What's your thoughts on that, Akil, bro? It's a topic to discuss, and we might put it out to the crowd as well, man. Let us know below if there's one or two untouchables, maybe even just one. You got to tell us.
For me, the most untouchable player in this team is Barella. Undoubtedly, man. Undoubtedly. He is the best player we have. Very close to Lukaku. Lukaku, for me, is untouchable too, to be really honest. He's a great player. He delivered a magnificent season. MVP, best midfielder, Barella. You can't touch these players. these you can't sell these players no matter the asking price, no matter the offer. You have to balance the book, sell somebody else, sell Lautaro. For me, I really like Bastoni. I love him. I adore him. I think he's a great player. He's a great future. I don't know if push comes to shove and we get a massive offer from, say, from Manchester City, who were interested in him sometime back. They come out and knock on the door and say, "Hey, here's 80 mil. You want to give us Bastoni?" Okay, I'll think about it. I'll think about it because, hey, Bastoni for 80, or okay, for 80 maybe a stretch, 70, but I'll think about it. He's a great player. He's a great asset, but getting that kind of money is huge for a defender. Man, that's amazing. So yeah,
the only reason we're even entertaining the offer for Hakimi is because 50 million, suck it. 60 mil, suck it. 70 million, we're even iffy. But if you're going to put 80 million on the table, we are here to listen because that's just what we have to do.
Exactly. And obviously, when you try to balance a book and you look at the amount of profit you're going to make on a player, it's at the end of the day, it's business, right? I mean, you're making on Hakimi's the potential deal. You can really bank $35 to $40 million on that deal, man. That is huge, and that goes a long way. So, if an offer comes through, unfortunately, we have to listen, and sometimes you have to entertain that offer and accept it, despite the disagreements or having we can feel sad all about it. But it's at the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah. Speaking of business, let's move along to our second topic of the evening, our second scheduled topic. I know we digressed a little. Hakan Calhanoglu, probably said his last name incorrectly, but it's one of those deals that once again just sprung up like that. And we've got the likes of Fabrizio Romano and Gianluca Di Marzio all coming out and saying that the personal terms are almost there, like within the week, almost there. So there has to be something there. I'll give my 2 cents here now. I've been waiting for a while to give my 2 cents on this all day since it's been coming up. I said it in a few chats. I think that if we can get this dude for because it has to be at least 4 or 4.5 million. He wanted something stupid like 6.5, 7 from Milan for next season. He's just done there. He doesn't want to play there anymore. He's a talented player that never really hit his heights at Milan, known best for his free kicks back at his time for Bayer Leverkusen. Didn't replicate that at Milan at all. But we're looking for a trequartista or a number 10 as a stopgap for Christian Eriksen. There is still a decent chance Christian Eriksen stays an Inter player and will play at Inter again. There is an even better chance that he will not. But either or, one thing that's for sure, Akil and everybody here listening, is that it's going to take time. This guy will not hit the pitch for at least another 5 or 6 months. Every precaution in the world will have to be taken. His physical activity levels will need to be monitored day after day after day before he actually goes and competes. We are looking for a stopgap solution here, which means Operation Hakan Calhanoglu is probably going to cost 8 or 9 million in total because he comes for free. We don't have 35 million euros to spend on a number 10. We don't have 35 million euros to spend on a Rodrigo de Paul. If we did, we would have got him. He went to Atletico Madrid, and I think Hakan is a decent choice because you directly weaken one of your rivals, and to everybody saying, no, he's shit, the Milan fans think he's shit, he's rubbish. Gee, they played him in every game last year. Whether they want to say he's shit or not, he's a part of their starting 11, and they're also letting him go for free. That's 2. Donnarumma and Hakan out the door for free. We're negotiating between 70 and 80 million for our right wing back. There's levels to this shit. There's levels to getting to being campione because there's a certain mentality and behavior that comes with it. So don't let that fool you for a second. That's just my opinion. I think in that role, he plays the same role as Eriksen, and he's just going to slide in automatically. And when all this shit blows over and we have clear direction and we've got fans in the stadium and liquidity back, his contract might just be up. Just for the record, he's 27, not 35, for all the fans who are losing their shit today. I know he's not the best player in the country. I know he's not the best trequartista in the world. I know he's nowhere near as good as Christian Eriksen. But it's a real easy slide-in option. And don't let the Milan fans fool you. They'll laugh now and they will cry later. Because you can't let 2 of your starting 11 go for free in this market. I'm sorry. Akil, I've said everything, man. I really wanted to get that off my chest. I'm glad I did.
No, you said it so well, and I just kept nodding my head because I agree with you 101%. Look, I think the biggest thing about Calhanoglu is the word free. Free, man. He's a player that is currently valued by transfer market. I don't know how true that is. Somewhere in $30 million range. Okay.
Yeah.
He is coming for free. You're not paying a penny for this player. This is the player that just had a 9-assist season, 4 goals, played almost every single game for AC Milan. Majority of those games, he played all 90 minutes. So, can he deliver? Sure. He's played in the Serie A for a few seasons. He's 9 assists. Lukaku had 11 assists. He has 9 assists for AC Milan. He is playing that role in an okay manner. He's not a bad player. Yes, he's had some moments where he was not seen on the pitch in certain times and, had some bad moments. Who didn't? Sensi, he was gone, nowhere to be found, injured all the time. Eriksen, when he arrived, he struggled. He struggled big time. And there was a moment where entire organization, Beppe Marotta himself was like, hey, if an offer comes through for Eriksen, we're open to listen. So imagine that and how things turned around for Eriksen. Obviously, Eriksen has a huge quality in his bag, and he's a much better player than Calhanoglu. But just think about it. Players, when they have a change of scenery, Calhanoglu was a decent player at Leverkusen. I actually happened to watch a few games of him from back in the day, and I used to think that he was a decent player. He may not be the best player, but he's a decent player, and he slots right in. He slots right in, takes the position, just simple swap for Eriksen. And I hope Eriksen comes back. But again, this topic is very it's going to go on for a very long time. Nobody knows the extent of his his condition. He's going to be evaluated a lot. I think he's going to miss out this coming season. I think he's going to miss out the entire season, and even after that, he's going to evaluate his choices because he's got a family. He's not going to rush things into it. That's just a whole another topic to talk about. But let's talk about Calhanoglu. He has qualities that we can use. He's a decent free kick taker, just like Eriksen. Or Eriksen is actually better. I don't know why I said decent, but Eriksen is amazing. But Calhanoglu can hit those free kicks as well. He plays a number 10 role. He likes being in that attacking midfielder position. So now just look at it how Inzaghi can utilize this player. Can he provide 10 assists to you in a season? Yes, he can. He did 9 assists last season, so he can definitely if he's put in a nice position. And Inzaghi likes to really run the ball with the midfielders. So I'm expecting a massive, massive season for Barella. But if Calhanoglu comes in and takes the other side of the midfield, I think he's going to be just fine. I think we don't need to panic. We don't need to criticize him. Every player has had bad times. And AC Milan went through some bad time. And just imagine that effect on a player, on a mental level on a player. He wants out from that club. That tells a lot of the clubs and club situation. So I say give him a chance. I say get him. Because, again, the key word is free, man. You don't pay a penny for him. So what's the harm? What's the harm? You can't go out and buy a $30 million player. Can't go out and buy a $20 million player. Maybe if you sell some players, maybe.
And someone said it here. It was Indra Hari again. My G, he's always dropping dimes here. Indra Hari, you need to reveal yourself to me properly. Just hit me up. Hit me up in the DMs, cuz. Where is it? It was a great comment. It was a great comment regarding Raja Nainggolan. If I can't find it, I'm just going to say it, bro. He said that the 4 to 4.5 million we would pay on Hakan, we'd just be saving money. Here we go. Free agent and affordable if we get rid of Raja. Raja Nainggolan is on 4.5 million a season. It's the exact wage. It's the exact wage. We would be taking Raja Nainggolan out and putting in Hakan. And I think it's a fantastic situation when you look at it like that. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. At the end of the day, that team was geared around Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So he'll be coming into a team with a lot better players, a lot more fluidity, a winning mentality. And that's it, man. I think that's all that's to be said about it.
He's gonna raise his bar. He's gonna he's a player that wants to play, man, and he knows if he comes to Inter, he knows that he's gonna be expected to perform at a higher level. So he's gonna put in the work, and every player does that. You know, despite of bad patches, players tend to step up. And he's that type of a player. He will step up his game. Inzaghi will demand him to do it. And I think he can deliver. I'm not saying he's going to be our best player. I'm not saying he's going to be the MVP or he's going to be the best midfielder in Serie A. No, he's going to provide the support to those two other midfielders that we have. Brozovic, Barella, he's going to slot right into it, and he's going to be just fine.
Well said, bro. Well said. That's all we need to talk about. That's really it. Unless I do it. No, there is not. There's one other really funny thing. Did you hear what Arturo Vidal got up to last night? Well, he's a funny cat, bro. Did you hear on that?
I did not hear, but you know, every time we hear about something about him, it's something interesting.
I'll look it up just so I get it accurate, just so I know the location and stuff like that. So basically, we've got Arturo Vidal in the middle of a COVID-19 scandal while on Copa America, and I'm pretty sure it's because they hired prostitutes back to their room. So there's a lot of drinking and a lot of just a lot of fun locker times with locker people, bro. Like, real unprofessional, man. Real, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for Chile because they've had scandals like this before in the past, man. So might as well just digress into a small little side topic. Arturo Vidal, without Antonio Conte there to keep his ass in line, this guy's gotta go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bad Raja situation, man. Within 2 or 3 games next season, we're gonna be cursing his name. Get him gone.
Yeah, no, I expected him to leave. Oh man, I just can't get over the fact. Man, this guy's got to go. You know, again, just from in terms of financially, you know, he has a huge salary, and you know, obviously, always thankful for his goal and his little contribution he made last season. But yeah, you know, he's in a state of mind right now. You know, he knows that he's done everything, he's achieved everything, he's just balling right now, he's just taking a paycheck. And you know, if he's not really motivated or really convinced, you know, I think it's best just, you know, cut him loose. I think he'll just have a great time in MLS or South American League. You know, I think he'll take a pay cut and have some good time like he is right now in Chile. And you know, that's typical Vidal for you.
It just goes to show that national team really is not taking this tournament that seriously, man. No way. They can't be. They can't be.
Yeah.
Before we do get going, I want to say thank you for everyone who came and joined in the chat today. It was awesome. It was a little bit vintage, if vintage can be, only a few weeks ago. It's really good to have some positive Inter news to talk about. It was really, really depressing for a guy for a while. Akeem says send Vidal to the MLS and take the headaches next season. Yeah, man. I'm starting to really relish because we've really forged a winning team with a champion mentality. There aren't that many pieces of the puzzle that need to be filled, and there aren't that many pieces of the trash that need to be emptied. It's something that we know a really competent director could do, and that's where the news in this video has come from today. It's really, really good. Akil, thanks for joining me, man. And the more good news that comes out, the more we'll be able to tee it up and keep it going. But yeah, thanks for joining me, bro.
No, anytime, and love to be back and, you know, covering Inter news. You know, I'm really looking forward to next couple of months. I think it's going to be great. A lot's going to happen, and this is a good start, man. We start off with getting the right personnel in place. Marotta, huge deal. Let's enjoy this. We'll keep hoping for the best, and we'll bring it to you guys.
All right, thanks everyone who's here. Thanks everybody who watched. It was good shit, and we'll come back at you soon. So, Forza Italia, Forza Inter worldwide.